Anthony Hartwig here. We're in Girard for a girls tennis player profile. We're joined by Cameron Silverman. Cameron, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. Let's talk about this wonderful sport of tennis and your journey. When did it start? When did you start playing tennis and when did you start falling in love with the sport?
Um, I think I first picked up a racket when I was like 4, at like a little club or whatever, like lessons when I was little. And then I played when I was like 9 to 11, and then I like stopped. And then all of a sudden, when I was like 14, I like saw something that they were doing tennis, and I was like, wanted to do it. It just like kind of like I don't know. It like was like calling my name and then like I felt like it clicked for me. Like that was my sport.
You're the number one singles player on the team, so you're kind of highlighted 10-3. Well, when last checked, when coach sent us this information, you were 10-3. I'm sure your record has changed since then, but a lot of success either way. What's been working so well for you this year?
Honestly, just having like a good team with like positive energy and stuff, and having coaches that are there to help me when I'm like feeling like mentally down and stuff.
We talked to your coach last year when he started this program and he was rolling it out. What was it like for you to just know that someone cared enough in Girard to start a tennis program from scratch, pretty much? And here we are now, and you guys are having a lot of success.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy to me. It's like I'm so grateful for that he signed up to be the coach because it was just like it would I wouldn't get to be where I am if it weren't for him.
Now the tennis schedule is busy. You have a lot of matches per week, and not a lot of time in between matches sometimes to work on stuff maybe you saw in the match before. So talk about just kind of how you coach yourself a little bit and how you're able to make adjustments from match to match if you have back to back days.
Honestly, I from the first match that we played that week, and I kind of like do a little self evaluation, I guess, at the end of myself and kind of see like what went good, what went bad, and I kind of try to go off that and just like kind of like reset for the next match and kind of have a little bit of a plan to maybe do something differently or keep the same.
So one of the things about tennis, you're on a team, and you already said the positivity of the team is a big reason why you're able to succeed. But the other end of it is that you're alone out there. It's you and the opponent, and that's it, which means you have to be very mentally strong. Talk about your mental approach and what keeps you kind of mentally even keel during a match.
Honestly, probably really kind of have to have like a like bad memory because like you have to kind of like forget like the bad points and just move on and just keep knowing that you're in it no matter what. Every point like counts, and every point's a chance to reset and get back in the match.
Have you always been a player that is able to do that, or have you had to kind of build your skills on how to let stuff go over
Um,
the years?
Honestly, last year I was like, I had like a lot of trouble forgetting like the like having a good mental mindset. I would get so mad at my like mistakes, and it would just cause me to make more mistakes. So this year I've definitely like jumped a huge hurdle with my mental game and have been able to focus more.
What helped you the most in being able to jump that hurdle?
Um, just knowing that, I guess, I don't know, like, I would say, I really don't know, like, probably being able to know that like, telling myself that it's okay to make
Mhm.
mistakes and that you don't have to be perfect all the time. Because I think I do kind of put that pressure on myself, but that it's okay, like, if you make mistakes.
Mhm. This team is big. I've seen the team pictures. You have a lot of girls interested in
Yeah.
tennis in Girard.
Mhm.
What's it like to know that there are people that share your interests in your school and that you have a kind of close knit community of tennis players?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to pick up the sport like that so fast. There's a lot of girls who are very passionate about it, like Miley Broll and Layla Royal and so many others. They all like put their best effort in, and it's nice to see that for them to like love the sport as much as I do.
When you're surrounded by that, when you're surrounded by other people that love the sport as much as you, how much does that drive you to keep working and keep going when you have other people around you that kind of feel the same way?
Yeah, it makes it honestly really fun, and we like push each other more. Um, Honestly, we just all kind of help each other.
How do you get ready for a match? What are some pre-match routines that you have to get yourself in that right mental zone?
Um, I mean, sometimes I listen to videos of kind of like what to do when you're in certain situations and stuff like that. I try to, eat a healthy snack and stuff like that and just get nice and loose.
What's your pre-game healthy snack?
Usually a granola bar, like a Cliff Bar. It's probably usually what I do.
All right, so you're eating light before the match, which means I'm
Yeah.
sure you're loving the post match meal where you get to unload and finally get some substance in you. What's
Yeah.
the favorite post match meal?
Um, Probably pasta.
Mm. What's healthy snacks before games, but I'm sure you have a sweet tooth as well. What's your favorite dessert slash candy snack, whatever it may be?
um, Probably like ice cream. It's always
Mm.
good.
Do you have a favorite flavor of ice cream?
Honestly, cookies and cream never misses. So,
Yes. Oreo Blizzards. Let's go.
yeah.
This interview is not sponsored by Dairy Queen, by the way. Sponsored by Bear Brothers up there. Let's talk about just your school life a little bit. What's some of your favorite subjects to learn about to study in Girard?
Um, Honestly, I like a lot of the history classes we have here. Honestly, all the classes are very nice and interesting. You know, I learn a
All
lot
you,
from.
all your teachers are gonna love that answer. You're not gonna get in trouble with any of your teachers by saying that. What's the hardest class? The one that's made you work the hardest?
Probably any math class.
What about the opposite end of the spectrum? The one that comes like the most natural to you?
Honestly, history. I'm like it's like kind of easy for me. Like I remember stuff.
Now,
Just
is history just easy for you, or do you also really like learning about history in those classes?
I also I love learning about it.
Do you have like a favorite part of history to learn about? Like if it's like going over this part of history in your class, you're like, yes.
um, no, I mean I'm not very picky with it. I kind of like all of it. Um, I don't know, like all the wars are like kind of
Mhm.
interesting to me.
If you had access to a time machine and could go back to any point in history, whether it be our history in the country or maybe world history, where would you want to go?
Um, Probably when like sports were just becoming a
Hmm.
thing, because it's just like it's so different from now. Like when you compare it, I just think it'd be cool.
I want to talk also about role models in life. Who are some people that have kind of shown you how to be a leader and how to be a role model in your own life?
Um, Probably my uncle, my coach. Um, he's a police outside of it, and he has to overcome a lot of challenges, and he surprises me every day, and he's a great leader.
When you think about what kind of leader you're turning into, because you are turning into a leader on this team, what are some of your leadership attributes, some things that you think you bring to the leadership table?
Um, Probably just work hard and um to keep going even when things are down. There's times where I'm sure have looked like I've struggled and stuff and have not been the happiest, but I know that it's like challenges come and it's like gonna knock you down, but you have to just get back up.
I like that you're talking about challenges because no matter what kind of athlete you are or what sport you play, you go through a career, you're gonna have some form of adversity hit. You're gonna have something that hits you where you're like, man, I got to get through this. What do you think is your biggest form of adversity that you've had to face so far in your tennis career? And then tell us how you kind of got past it. What kind of things you did to get through it?
um Honestly, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes, you face opponents who are very competitive and aren't always the same as they are off the court. And sometimes, especially if I'm playing my friends and stuff, it's kind of hard for me to just like flip the switch to be competitive and stuff. But, um, geez, but and sometimes they just kind of act different and stuff like that. But I've just kind of tell myself you're a different person on the court than you are off the court sometimes.
So when you talk about yourself getting that competitive fire in you,
Yeah,
what gives you your competitive nature? Maybe you're not the same way where you kind of flip a switch, but
yeah.
you're still very competitive. You still go out there and you compete and you try to win, try your best at winning. What gets you competitive?
Honestly, knowing that there's a bigger reward at the end of the journey, you know, and that it will help me. I'll learn from it, and just wanting to do good, and also showing the team that to do good and stuff too.
What other things do you get competitive in? Is there like a family game night where you're like board games, let's go? What other things do you compete in outside of
Um,
tennis?
well, my twin sister and I like to compete with our grades.
I love it. Who's winning that battle?
um, I think she might be by a
Oh,
little bit.
a little
By a
bit,
little
but
bit.
still a lot of time to make up that ground. A lot of
Yeah.
time. All right, Cameron, before we end this interview, we like to end these player profiles the same way every time. We like to take the player and give them the chance to take the spotlight off themselves for a little bit, shine it on the people in their life that mean the most to them, that support them throughout their journey. So I want to give you your time to give out your thank yous, your shout outs to all the people in your life that you think deserve it.
Okay. Um, Obviously my parents, my twin sister Addison, she pushes me every day. My coaches, Coach JJ, Coach Carey, Coach Brookhart. My teammates, Miley Broll, Layla Royal, Sophia Krem, Leah Schweitzer, Maddie Piganelli. There's so much more. Lauren Green, Olivia, Peyton, Emma Thomas, Casey Brookbank, all of my teammates. Um, my grandparents, all my teachers and staff here have been very supportive, and my athletic director, who helped make the club possible. Um, that's there's so much more, but
And the good thing about us is we're not the Oscars, so we're not going to cut you off if you go too long. Cameron, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and talking about your tennis career and your tennis journey. We appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck the rest of this year. We can't wait to talk again real soon.
thank you.